Blessings be upon thee again, friends. Today in this lesson, we're going to pick up lesson 13, which is attribute number 12. God is just. He is infinitely, unchangeably right and perfect in all he does. We're going to look at Deuteronomy 32, verse 4. We're going to look at an excerpt off of BibleStudyTools.com, which means, what does it mean that God is just? And we're going to look at some other scriptures that support this. This is going to be a pretty short lesson. All right, Isaiah 61, verse 8, Isaiah 30, verse 18, Job 34, verse 12, Deuteronomy 32, verse 4, and okay, here we go. God is just. He is infinitely, unchangeably right and perfect in all he does. Deuteronomy 32, verse 4 says, He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are judgment, a God of truth and without iniquity. Just and right is he. And here's the excerpt of talking about what does it mean that God is just. It means that he is simply fair. It means that he always does what is right and good toward all men. Likewise, although this is hard for many to accept, his sentencing of evil, unrepentant sinners to hell is also right and good. A natural question that arises from this is, how can a just God justify the unjust, as each of us are without Christ? Tozer answered, this by reminding us that we find the answer through the Christian doctrine of justification and redemption. We are justified by faith, okay? Just as Abraham was justified by faith. Through the work of Christ in atonement, justice is not violated but satisfied when God spares a sinner. His mercy does not forbid him to exercise justice, nor does his justice forbid him to exercise mercy. He is both fully merciful and fully just. In the light of God's other attributes of goodness, mercy, love, and grace, there are some who might in error say that God is too kind to punish the ungodly, but to believe this means we dull the reality of his infinite, unchanging justice. God will have justice for sin, either from Christ's atoning death or for those who will not accept it in eternal wrath in hell. And that's a scary thought, dear friends. We have a few verses here we're going to take a peek at. Isaiah 61, verse 8 says, For I, the Lord, love justice. I hate robbery. In the burnt offering, and I will faithfully give them their recompense and make an everlasting covenant with them. See, the Lord loves justice. He loves it. All right? And he hates sin. Okay? He doesn't, make no mistake, God is not winking at sin here, friends. All right? When he forgives the sinner according to his faith, based on the sacrifice of the Lord Jesus Christ, God is not winking at sin. All right? Let's just be very clear about this. God poured out all his wrath against sin on the Lord Jesus Christ. All right? That sin has been paid for. Okay? Isaiah 30, verse 18 says, Therefore, the Lord longs to be gracious to you, and therefore he waits on high to have compassion on you. For the Lord is a God of justice. How blessed are all those who long for him. And the verse says there, Isaiah 30:18 says, Therefore the Lord longs to be gracious for you. That means he desires to be gracious to us. even though we do not deserve it. He longs for a chance to show us grace. And the only thing that is required for us to receive that grace is that we believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. All right? And therefore, he waits on high to have compassion on you. For the Lord is a God of justice. How blessed are those who long for him. Job 34 verse 12 says, surely God will not act wickedly, and the Almighty will not pervert justice. Deuteronomy 32 verse 4 says, the rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are just, a God of faithfulness and without injustice, righteousness and upright is he. Now, I have a question here. Now, that's the end of our lesson as it stands. Here's a question for you to ponder. Okay, I'm not going to give you the answer to this one, but you probably already know it. Which of God's attributes might cause God to be merciful toward mankind? Okay, that is the end of lesson 12. End of lesson 13, and that is attribute 12. Okay, my dear friends, students, God bless you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.